Hello there, my name is Ben Carter. I'm currently on placement at Suffolk County Council in the Flood and Water team, and welcome to my video log for the month of May 2018. So what we're going to talk about mostly during this vlog is the week commencing the 14th of May, in which I attended an RFCC review event, which enabled me to create a stand basically presenting and spreading awareness about the project that I'm doing this year in my placement, the Our Water project, to help communities with their local flood risk, to use map surveying, marking on watercourses and assets to transfer onto GIS. So I was able to talk with a variety of leading local flood authorities, including the Environment Agency, Essex County Council, who are also doing the same project. So I was able to get some feedback from them of how they found it. I remember speaking to them about the sort of drawbacks of the project, which in turn is similar to what I've experienced this year. One of these main drawbacks, which I discussed with Essex County Council, is the fact that we're having to rely on these community volunteers to carry out the data collection, which is difficult as the fact that they have other responsibilities, other things that they prioritise over this volunteer work. So we discussed possible solutions to sort of adapt and innovate the project for the future, to try and help motivate these community volunteers to carry out the data collection efficiently, and so they feel that their work is will be beneficial in the future. So one of the possible solutions that was mentioned during the conversation is to use past data to present that to the new volunteers, so they can visualise the work that they do and how it will be beneficial to us. So we can visualise the watercourse systems in that parish and what maintenance might be needed. So I think that might be one incentive to basically motivate the community workers to carry out the data collection efficiently. Another useful conversation I had during the event was with the Norfolk County Council, who have yet to carry out a similar project to ours. So it's rewarding for me to be able to inform them of it and hopefully encourage them in the future to start up a similar sort of scheme to build relationships with the communities, use their knowledge of local flood risk to gather data, watercourse data, to visualise on a GIS system, and also to identify significant features which could influence flood risk for this certain parish, such as culverts, weirs and sluice gates. And these sort of assets aren't usually on Ordnance Survey maps, especially for smaller parishes. So this sort of project really enables us to visualise what is causing the significant flooding within a certain area. Yeah, so it was great to be able to spread the idea of using communities and their local knowledge to take action themselves and help reduce their local flood risk for the future. I also wanted to mention this month about the meeting I had with one of the woodland advisory officers, as he is interested in pursuing a similar project to mine, but surveying trees and hedgerows instead of the watercourses. So we had a great discussion about again what might need improving in the project, and how it's useful. And what mentioned is the slight alteration in how the fieldwork is undertaken. So instead of using large physical maps, is to use a tablet or a specific app, which would enable the user to scroll through a map and draw on a watercourse or a tree or a hedgerow, select assets and add photographs to link that to the asset. So yeah, I think this conversation was really useful going forward for me to leave some sort of different ideas with the team in order to improve the project going forward. And finally, what I'd like to mention this month is one of the site visits which I attended, to which a report came in from a resident who had been internally flooded. So me and a colleague visited her and asked a few questions about the scale of the floods, whether it was surface water or groundwater, and what sort of damage it caused, and to take any pictures as well. And this was something that I had not experienced before. So it was good for me to get an insight of what sort of procedures are for someone who had been internally flooded and who'd reported it to the county council. So it was a great experience for me to attend this sort of visit, to get some information about the sort of flooding that had occurred to this resident, to then feed that data back to the team, who can decide whether she can make a claim or what decision to make from there. So I think overall this month was mainly about ensuring that the project has the best potential it can going forward, to ensure its sustainability, looking at improvements, and the fact that my role here has only been trialling this project. Towards the end, it was really about sort of identifying the drawbacks and looking at improvements for the future.